Line High School football game of the week. It's a West Virginia Class AA state semifinal matchup between the Weir Red Riders and the Bluefield Beavers. I'm Don Sloan alongside John Sereni, and we're at Mitchell Stadium in the Bluefields. They call it the Bluefields. Bluefield, West Virginia, and Bluefield, Virginia. Technically, right now, though, we are standing in Bluefield, Virginia, not Bluefield, West Virginia. But anyway, this game, John, the running backs, Mr. Charlie Tynes and Donald Amaker of Bluefield, and Quincy Wilson of Weir, the running backs, the focus of this game.
Two explosive offenses. It's being touted as maybe the state championship game will be decided here today. It could come down to the passing of Weir High to win this football game. This should be a great game.
It should be an outstanding game. I know the folks from Magnolia and Grafton, I don't think they're going to agree with that. But that game will be the WTOV 9 game of the week tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So Magnolia and Grafton, the winner of that game, will meet the winner of this one. It's between Bluefield and Weir. Field conditions are great, and we're set with the kickoff when we come back. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium for the WTOV 9 game of the week. The Weir Red Riders, the Bluefield Beavers at Mitchell Stadium. And John, the big thing I've been trying to find out, we drove it. The sign said, "Welcome to Virginia." So we thought we were in Virginia. Now we're told that the field technically is in West Virginia, even though the field is part of the Bluefield City Park, which 90% of it is in Virginia, except for the 10% that the football field's on it. That's all we're worried about today.
I think you're sitting in West Virginia, and I'm in Virginia right now.
And we're set for the opening kickoff. It will be Brian Terry for Bluefield, Quincy Wilson and Saidi Collier's back deep for the Riders, and we are underway. Quincy Wilson will field it at his 5. Takes it right up the middle, trying to get outside, and he is brought down at the 20-yard line. The stop there made by Yatoka Keene. And talking to some fans before the game, they said that's the kid you want to watch on special teams, Yatoka Keene for Bluefield. We'll take a look at the starting lineups now for the Red Riders. Eric Burkheim, your quarterback. Rasici and Wilson, your running backs. McIntyre and Colliers, your wideouts. Barnaby, your tight end. He's battling a flu bug. The offensive line, Klink, Busick, Stevens, Jenkins, and Bizdak. Burkheimer comes up under center. First down, and it's the fullback, Rasici. And he keeps those legs driving out for a gain of about 3 yards.
Charlie Tynes made the stop, and just a little bit of power. These two teams now are going to feel each other out offensively and defensively. And the first handoff to Rasici, figuring that everyone's going to be keying in on Wilson. So Rasici picks up pretty close to 4 yards.
Brings up second down and 6 yards to go. Ball on the 25-yard line for Weir. Joey Filberto split out to the near side. They give Wilson, trying to bounce outside, breaks one tackle, breaks two, and he will get a first down. It should be for Weir out to the 31-yard line. All depends upon the spot.
Well, they've seen right now that one man with an arm tackle is not going to bring him down.
Take a look at the defense for Bluefield. The ends, Mike Bennett and Troy Powers. The down tackles, Eric Krause, Eric Gates, and George Cook. The linebackers, Sean Dews, he's the big fullback also on offense, and Rick DeCibio, they say this guy's big time. The linebackers, Amaker, Simon, Barnett, and Charlie Tynes, and the spot, first down Weir. Not by much, though. That's by the nose of the football. That's that old left foot, right foot spot.
So a 4-yard gain and a 6-yard gain adds up to 10. Again, as I said before, I think that Bluefield just found out that a one-man arm tackle will not bring down Quincy.
First and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Burkheimer up under center. Rasici and Wilson, your running backs. Wilson is brought down. He's wrestled down by Troy Powers.
Powers got around behind him, caught him from behind as Quincy did a little stutter step up the line of scrimmage, and Powers caught him from behind. Quincy couldn't find an opening. He likes to look for the hole, and you'll see that Powers had gone past him, but now brings him down from behind.
Powers with a nice job fending off the lead block, playing off the block and finding the runner. Second down and 10. No gain on that play. McIntyre split top side. Filberto near side. I set up. Wilson again, this time right side. 35, 40, 42. First down, Weir.
Well, the entire secondary hit him to finally bring him down, but it's another first down as Quincy that time did find a hole off the right side, picks up good yardage, and out to the 43-yard line.
Big concern coming into this week was the field conditions. This field was tore up last week, but as you can see here on this play, the field is in immaculate condition today. Just a little chopped up in the middle, but it's important for the field conditions to be good for Quincy and his cutbacks.
DeCibio got nailed by Ricci on that play.
First and 10 on the 43. Wilson up the middle. Spin move. Trying to get out to the 50, and he will be wrestled down at the 50. Rick DeCibio and company with the stop.
5 more people to bring him down as he was, as you so aptly described, spinning, moving, spinning, keeping the legs going. That was all him after he got past the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of hole there. Finds the little seam, hit, spin out of that tackle, hit again, almost spins out, but then help comes.
So gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 on the 50-yard line. Backs now split. Ricci inside, and Mr. Rick DeCibio is there on the stop, and they love this guy. Some folks down here telling me that they've got some Division I colleges looking at DeCibio. He's a dandy. Rick DeCibio, 6'1", 248.
Let me tell you what, that hole was open, and boy, did he just get in there and fill it quickly. I mean, there was, as we looked at the play, you could see a hole on that counter, but DeCibio filled that hole very quickly.
Call it a gain of 1. 3rd and 2. Quincy. And he gets stopped. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Give Eric Krause credit because he got through the line, slowed Quincy up in the backfield, and Quincy had nowhere to go. Watch Krause break through the line of scrimmage right there, slows him up, and then help comes again. And Weir High's going to punt it away.
Back deep to receive for Bluefield is Charlie Tynes, and Tynes is the guy that really opened things up for Bluefield in last week's game against Man. He had a 40-yard kick return and a 45-yard punt return that really set their offense up in business. The punt for Weirton is going to take a bounce at the 17th. Tynes trying to get outside. His own man brings him down. Actually, it was Jeff Keeson.
And he's down.
He is down.
I didn't see. I don't know whether he tried to block somebody and lost his footing or what, but boy, he got rolled right back into the. There he is right there. Oh, I think he was trying to peel back to get the Red Rider on a block, and instead he hit his own running back. He was coming back trying to peel the Red Rider that was coming downfield, and when he looked around, bang, there's his running back. Now he's up. It was a great tackle.
That's Jeff Keeson. He's up and being helped off the field. You're right, John. He got caught up kind of with the player from Weir and ended up bringing down his own back. Brandon Sarver, the quarterback, he's coming back from arthroscopic knee surgery last year. Sean Dews, the big fullback. Charlie Tynes and Donald Amick are the other running backs. Freddie Simon and Rick DeCibio, your ends. Your line features Leggett, Krause, Williams, Gates, and Powers. And they like power football. They'll try to keep it on the ground. Brandon Sarver hands off to Charlie Tynes. Tynes bounces outside across the 20. It's brought down by Filberto at the 22-yard line. Charlie Tynes, he's the man offensively for Bluefield. He's got 1,400 yards rushing this season and 19 touchdowns. Last week, Mr. Tynes, 116 yards in the win against Man. Nice spin move and big pickup there for Charlie Tynes.
Great size, 6'1", 182. You want to compare him? Quincy is 5'11", 195. So a rangy back. You can see that when you look down. He towers above the other guys down there. Nice running back.
First and 10 now on their own 22. Tynes, once again, he's met. Breaks one tackle before he is brought down. Mike Bizdak was the first man to meet him in the backfield. Bizdak slowed him up long enough so the Riders could make the tackle. And we'll take a look at the Red Rider defensive front. Andre Barnaby, Robert Bizdak, Mike Bizdak, Brandon Klink, Robert Busick, and Scott Jones. The linebackers, Bubba Stump, Dante Ricci, Quincy Wilson, and the secondary, Saidi Colliers, Travis McIntyre, and Joe Filberto. Second down and 9 on their own 23. Gain of 1 on the play. And we've got movement on the line. John, what do we have?
I think it's illegal procedure, but we'll wait for the officials. They are always right. Well, now they're clapping. It's going to be offside.
Someone on the interior of the Weir defensive front jumped off.
He just penalized Bluefield. I think the one official really knew. He marked off 5 against Bluefield, then he came back and marked off the 5 against Weir High. So it's going to set up a second down and about 4.
Bluefield breaks the huddle. They come up with Brandon Sarver under center, Sati Leggett. And the big fullback, it's 2nd and 4. That's Sean Dews. Amiker, handoff the other way, 30, 35. Tries to get past Gilberto, who brings him down at the 40-yard line. Just a little misdirection.
Certainly was misdirection, and the problem teams have had is trying to get outside of Weir High because of their defensive speed. This time he gets a good seal block right there, and missed, finds some running room around the side, and finally brought down. Fulberto had the shot at him. If he didn't get him, Brandon Klink was still there to bring him down, but that's a great gain, and they're out to the 40-yard line.
Donald Amiker with the run. He had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. We get a look at Wayne Neely. 1st and 10 on their own 40, and we've got a flag on the play.
Offside against the Red Riders, just a little bit too anxious.
And the Red... Actually, procedure
good.
Against Bluefield.
They were drawing that.
They'll even that up for the first one.
Okay, 5 and 5.
Well, we were talking about Donald Amiker, who had that last run, the first playoff game. They beat Liberty Harrison 32-20. He had 92 yards, including a 63-yard touchdown run. What Man did a good job of last week. They shut down the big play, but Amiker with 100 yards last week, and Tynes with 116 yards. 1st and 15. Tynes your motion, man. They fake the handoff to him, and we've got flags once again.
It's against Bluefield.
So the Bluefield gets marched back yet again. And we were trying to get a little history in the stadium, an old stadium here. And what did we find out? Virginia Tech used to play some home games here.
Well, that's why the stadium was built in 1947. It was a WPA project, and it was built so that Virginia Tech could play their home football games here. Isn't that interesting?
That's why I thought the place was in Virginia, maybe. So Virginia Tech then technically played in West Virginia.
Right.
I don't know. We're in Bluefield. 1st and 20.
Somewhere.
On their own 30. Toss. Tynes trying to get outside. Lead blocker is Dews. Gets across the 30 to the 34. And Saidi Collier strung things out. Wasn't able to make the tackle, and he picked up another 4 or 5 yards.
Quincy was there for the Red Riders along with Joey Filberto and Brandon Klink to make the stop. Klink has been very active so far defensively for the Red Riders. And as I said, it's pretty difficult to get outside. There's the missed tackle. And there's knocking him out of bounds. Pretty tough to get around the ends. Weir High's got to play pretty much an air-free football game. They can't do what they did in the first half of the last 2 playoff games.
2nd and 15 for Bluefield on their own 35. Tynes your motion, man. They fake the handoff to him. They're looking to put it up down the middle. Could be a jump ball. Gilberto slips and the pass falls incomplete. It was intended for Donald Amiker, but Bluefield, they don't throw the ball a whole lot. Sarver this season only 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. And from what I hear, he's a great story. He's a guy that injured his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee last year and worked hard in the offseason, was able to come back after that knee injury.
Very fortunate that ball was underthrown. However, had Filberto not slipped and fallen, he would have had an interception.
And he's had quite a few this year.
Yes, he has, and that would have been one more if he doesn't slip and fall because it was underthrown, and he would have had a shot at the football.
3rd and 15. They're going to run the draw to the big fullback, Dews. And Dews bounces outside across the 40 to the 47-yard line. Nice pickup by Sean Dews, and he is a load to bring down.
Oh, my goodness.
We look at Dews. He checks in. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
5'10", 257. 5'10", 257. They call him the Bus. He is their version of Jerome Bettis.
Well, let me tell you what, 257, they must just have weighed one calf, because he is a load. Look at this. Very hard to bring down. Well, they're in punt formation with a 4th down and 4.
Travis McIntyre back on his own 23-yard line. Brandon Sarver into punt for Bluefield. Gets off a nice punt, calling for the fair catch is McIntyre on his own 17. And the Red Riders will take over when we come back. And with no score here in the first quarter of play on the Weirton Still scoreboard, it is Weir nothing, Bluefield nothing. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. It is Weir nothing, Bluefield nothing. Berkheimer under center. 3 backs this time. The bone set up. Berkheimer's got pressure from behind, and he is wrestled down. That is Troy Powers. Powers with the sack, and that young man has had a solid game so far. He's 6'8", 168, and he is a senior, Troy Powers.
Undoubtedly a broken play. I don't even think, it may have looked like it was a naked bootleg, but that was a broken play because Quincy turned around and looked for the football, and he and the quarterback were going in 2 different directions.
Loss of 8 on the play brings up 2nd down and 18. The handoff, Wilson trying to get outside, and he is brought down at the 10-yard line after actually probably no gain.
No, there's no gain on that, and you've got to give credit once again to Eric Kraus, because Kraus just broke down the offensive line play and went in and got Quincy. Quincy trying to go outside, nothing there, wants to cut it back, and there's Kraus was the one who came in late, but he was the one who broke up the play.
3rd and 18 now. Now the Riders line up in the I with Rasici and Wilson. Top side is Colliers. McIntyre bottom side. Berkheimer is pressured, and he unloads it looking for McIntyre, and the pass is incomplete out at the 48-yard line. But I'll tell you what, plenty of pressure on Weir that time, and we've got a flag in the play. I don't know if it's roughing the passer.
I think he went past the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
I believe. Let's look. The line of scrimmage is the 10-yard line. Let's see if he's past the line of scrimmage.
Yep, he went past the line of scrimmage.
He's right at the 10, takes a step over the 10, throws the pass, and that's an illegal forward pass. It'll be a loss of down and a penalty.
So Saidi Colliers will have to punt out of his own end zone, and the ever-dangerous Charlie Times will be standing on the Weirton 44-yard line, set to bring this thing back. And we'll see how many guys Bluefield sticks up.
They're going to go for the return, I would think, because they can get some great field position out of this. They should be inside the 30-yard line if they get any kind of run at all.
And there's a flag on the play.
A lot of anxiety, I think, down there on the field. Both these two teams want to get at each other, and we've got illegal procedures going on and offsides going on. That's illegal procedure. That takes the ball back inside the 5-yard line.
And Weir's got to cut down the penalties. I know they had a few problems with that the past 2 weeks.
That's what I said earlier about them playing mistake-free football, because the last 2 weeks it didn't come back to haunt them with the number 1 team in the state. I don't know that you can make these mistakes.
So Collier set the punt once again. Now Tynes is standing on the 38-yard line.
Good kick.
He's going to take a big Weir bounce across the 50. He takes it on his 43. Tynes trying to work his way down the sideline. He's got a seam before he is brought down by Travis McIntyre at the 38. Well, McIntyre and about 4 guys wrestle him out of bounds.
But Tynes did very well to pick up almost 14 yards once he fielded the ball. I think most backs would have let that go. But that was a great punt from out of the end zone. You see, he takes it back almost at the 45, well, inside the 45, looks up the field, gives a little jiggle, and now starts down the sidelines. A couple missed tackles, and then he runs into a wall, and finally they knock him out of bounds. But he took it from the 45 all the way to the Red Rider 38.
Well, the key, John, he just didn't take the ball, turn around, and run upfield. He waited a second to see where his blockers were and where the seam was, and then followed it. Sarver looking to pass, and he is snowed under. We've got Scott Jones and Robert Busick there for Weir. Quincy Wilson also over there.
Sarver decided to eat that football. That was an end around. They wanted to give the ball to Amaker, and he comes back and he sees that Amaker has somebody right on top of him. He ran into one of his own men, and he just decides, I'm going to eat this football because on the exchange, we might lose it. Pretty good head-up play by the quarterback.
So a loss of 4 brings up 2nd and 14 on the Weir 42. Dews and Tynes in the backfield, and we've got a flag again.
This is an awful lot of flags.
This one's going to back up Bluefield, though, I think.
Check for a sack. For each sack recorded by either team, Kroger will donate $50 to the OVAC. And, they've given a ton of money away this season to the OVAC. And we'll keep track here today and see how much money Kroger will be donating. To them.
They're in 50 at least. Berkheimer got sacked.
That's
and,
right.
I don't know if you want to call $3,100
Wow.
at the beginning of the game.
That means a lot of good defensive lines, right?
2nd and 19 now. Tynes trying to go inside. Scotty Jones. Tynes, it's basically they stack them up, stop his forward progress, and they blow the whistle.
Let me get this in. All of the accounts, descriptions, views, comments, and opinions hereby expressed are those of Don Sloan and John Sereni, and necessarily are not the views of the West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission.
You're good at that. You've got one more of those you've got to read later on.
I'll get that.
Throw that in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. 1.5 we'll give them.
3rd and 18 now. So Sarver, you're going to have to look for him to put it up. Last time, though, they ran the draw with Dews, trying to set up the screen to Amaker. He catches it to the 50, 45, 40. He's got plenty of room. Can Joey Filberto put him out? Yes, he does. At the 5-yard line, I thought Filberto might have a chance to put him out of bounds, but he cut back inside. And Filberto with a tackle, but that was set up nicely. The screen with Amaker coming back around. The screen set up very nicely by Bluefield. We take another look at it.
Well, they almost had the quarterback. Almost, but not enough. And he's naked out there. Amaker had running room, and Filberto, there were 4 blockers in front of the running back, and he didn't wait. He had nobody behind him. He didn't wait for a block, and Filberto was able to bring him down at the 6. But the big bull could be going here, the bus.
Yeah, Dews. 1st and goal to go for Bluefield. And it will be Tynes. Tynes is wrestled down by Mike Vizdak. And that's the interesting thing with the Bluefield backs. You've got Amaker, he's sheer speed. You've got Tynes, he's speed and power. And then you've got Dews, who's just a moose.
Well, there wasn't anything there. Like you say, Vizdak just made the play on his own in the backfield. We got a timeout now.
That's the end of the quarter.
Right.
At the end of the first quarter of play, there is no score for Mitchell Stadium in the Bluefields of West Virginia and Virginia on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. We take a look at it. It's 0-0 at the end of one quarter of play between Weir and Bluefield on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. We take a look at Tony Filberto, the defensive coordinator of Weir. And on the Weirton Steel scoreboard, it is 0-0 Weir and Bluefield. And the Red Rider defense, they've got their backs up against it right now. It's 2nd down and goal to go with the ball on the 7-yard line of Weir for Bluefield.
Well, the Red Riders, at least on first down, appeared to have pretty good goal line defense. It'll be interesting to me to see if Bluefield wants to run right at the Red Riders down here, or we'll try to go wide. The big play so far has been that screen pass to Amaker, and Weir High has been a hard-charging defense, and of course screens are what work against that. That's what burned them so badly when they played Wheeling Park early in the year. It was screen, 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 and that's what really burned Weir High in that football game.
And that was a big play to Amaker on 3rd and long. 2nd and goal to go. Ball on the 7-yard line. Dews and Tynes in the backfield behind Sarver. The toss. Tynes across the 5-4, touchdown Bluefield.
Very great run. Nice run by Tynes as he got hit twice inside the 5-yard line, and his power was able to take him into the end zone. Here's the pitch. Now he gets hit once there, goes over a man, spins, hit again, and dives into the end zone.
He broke 2 tackles and then made the spin move. Nice run by Charlie Tynes. And as we mentioned before, he has 1,400 yards this season. That was his 20th touchdown of the year for Mr. Tynes. Brian Terry on for the extra point for the Beavers. The placement, the kick, and it is good. So Bluefield, just 4 seconds into the second quarter, they jump out on top on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. The score, Bluefield 7, Weir nothing. You're watching the WTOV 9 Game of the Week, and a short drive of about 42 yards. Tynes set it up with a nice punt return, and then the big play to Amaker before Tynes scoring the touchdown. But short drive for the Bluefield offense, and that was really set up after the sack of Berkheimer when they pinned Weir back deep.
And then the 5-yard penalty, just another mistake. The broken play, first of all, the broken play by the Red Riders, and then the 5-yard penalty just pinned them deep. They did get a good punt. I mean, he kicked it all the way out to the 45-yard line, and that's a great punt. But they weren't able to contain that 3rd and long, and that was just a great screenplay by Bluefield. Red Riders need to get something going offensively. They've only tried the one pass. They haven't had an awful lot of pressure, but I really think that if Weir High is going to succeed today, it's going to have to be in the passing game. They're really keying on Quincy. You can see that on how many yards he has in this first quarter, but I don't know that he's going to break an awful lot of long runs today as he has in the other 2 playoff games. This is a good defensive football team that the Red Riders are meeting today.
Weir checks in today at 10-2, and Bluefield's 12-0, looking to go 13-0, advance to Wheeling Island. They made it to the semifinals last year, but did not make it to Wheeling. Bubba Stump on the kick return, 32-35, trying to bounce back across the grain, 40, 45. He's got Travis McIntyre in front with the block, and he goes into Bluefield territory at the 47. Bubba Stump. They normally say, hit somebody, Bubba. That time it was run, Bubba, run.
Yeah, his father says, hit somebody, Bubba. And David Harris, I believe, was the one who brought him down, and that was a saving tackle because he was running hard. He makes a nice cut. So it was a squib kick, so he's an up man, takes it, and he finds a little seam, gets a block to the outside.
That reminds me of that country music song, Bubba can dance, Bubba can two-step, Bubba can run, Bubba can glide.
Yeah.
If Bubba can dance, maybe I can too. Quincy Wilson can dance. He's trying to bounce outside, cross the 45, out to the 42. There's a flag in the play. Could be a hold on the play, but still, it took 4 Bluefield Beavers to bring him down.
I really think, just watching now and seeing what I'm seeing here so far, I think the Red Riders have to run straight at this football team. They don't have a massive offensive and defensive line. They are a lot like Weir High, undersized but quick. And the problems that the opposing teams have running outside against the Red Riders, I think Weir High is going to have that same problem running outside on this team. So I think, any success you may have is going to be running right at this team.
Ricky, get over here.
It's a Was tripping penalty? Is that what he?
Walking below the waist was
okay.
a clip on Weir.
So 15 yards, and that sets up a ton of yardage. 20. Well, no, it was from the point of the foul, so it's going to be about 18 yards to go, right? Yeah.
First down in a bunch on their own 41-yard line. Filberto checks into the backfield with Rasici and Wilson. Wilson, 40, 45, 50, 47, brought down from behind by Eric Kraus.
And Kraus, and we've said his name, so he's obviously assigned to Quincy.
Watch him. There he is, 75.
Right.
He'll come back and make the tackle.
Yep.
Kraus with some help from Charlie Tynes. That's good backside pursuit, though, by Kraus. High setup with Rasici and Wilson. Pass out in the flat to Colliers, gets around the first man, and Amiker, though, is going to bring him down after he gets up to the 45-yard line.
Well, they had him almost triple teamed over there, and he got past one, but couldn't shake the other. Weir likes to throw that pass and let Saidi do a little fast step and be open. Just a two-step drop, throw it out there. You can see there's double coverage. Gets past one, but he can't get past the second.
So third down and call it 8 yards to go on the 45-yard line of Bluefield. Wilson, 45 down to the 41-yard line. Gain of 4. That'll bring up 4th and 4.
Well, let's see. We're going to punt this away down at the 40-yard line. Again, Quincy with a lot of blockers out in front of him. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But holding their ground and then coming from the inside to make the stop. Now, the Weir High wants to talk this over. They've got a 4th and about 4 at the Bluefield 41-yard line. They want to talk this over.
And while they talk it over, we'll take a break on the Weirton Steel scoreboard in the second quarter from Mitchell Stadium. It's Bluefield 7, Weir nothing. We'll be right back after this.
Mostly the opposite.
And we're back at Mitchell Stadium. You can get a good look at Wayne Neely. Riders facing 4th and 4 on the 41-yard line of Bluefield, and a good decision here. I think they're going to punt it. And if you get a good punt here, pin Bluefield back deep and let your defense do a job, because really the touchdown drive was a short drive.
Yeah, right. And
42 yards, I think.
And it was Weir High mistakes that set that up. So, you know, it's got to watch these special teams from this team, though. They kick it away from him.
Trying to angle it out of bounds. He's going to take a Weir High bounce and be down at the 17-yard line. So Bluefield will take over deep in their own end, 1st and 10 on the 17. And the Riders are going to have to stop that running game of Bluefield, as Charlie Tynes has done a nice job. But as we mentioned, the big play was to number 3, Amiker.
Well, we've heard about the running game, and that this team doesn't like to pass that much. The big play was a screen pass.
But not that vertical passing game.
No.
I don't think the vertical game is something that Bluefield can do that well. So 1st and 10. Actually, call it closer to the 20. Split backs now. It's Tynes up the middle. He's got one man to beat. Actually, 2, and it would be McIntyre bringing him down at the 36-yard line of Weirton. Just a quick hitter, John, and it will be Mr. Tynes with a huge pickup.
Yes, he ducked under. Watch him duck under a tackle here. Look how low to the ground he is. Ducks under the tackle, and all of a sudden he's in the secondary. McIntyre with some great speed, and back there to slow him up was Filberto, the safety man. He had to run around Filberto and allowed McIntyre to catch up with him.
They say Tynes goes 182, but he looks a little bigger than that.
Yeah, he does.
So really, you've got 2 fullbacks. Shotgun now. Reverse handoff to Amiker, and he gets down to the 31. Looked like they were going to set up the draw, and then coming around was Amiker.
I had heard about that play. That's the play they wanted to run earlier when Amiker bumped into his own man, and the quarterback decided to eat the football. This time, he doesn't bump into number 45. He's open, and he comes around the end. But the Red Riders held their ground pretty well and make the stop. Good gain, though. 6 yards.
So call it 2nd and 4 on the 31-yard line of Weir. I set up Amaker now deep in the backfield. A counter. Tynes out near the first down yardage at the 26.
It'll be a little short, I believe. Depends on where they spot the football, whether you get a left foot or a right foot spot. And
I think they got the foot they wanted because it looks like there's going to be a first down. Well, they'll measure. They're going to measure, but it's darn close.
Again, he is as difficult to bring down, it appears, as Quincy is, because just an arm tackle and one man, not going to bring down Mr. Tynes. He is, he's a good running back, no question. We heard about him, now we've seen him, and his press clippings are there.
First down, Bluefield.
Got the right foot. Well, the Red Riders certainly don't want to get down by 2 touchdowns. They need to get a apple cherry cheese here.
Apple cherry cheese?
Yeah, that turnover.
I should have been able to guess that.
That's right. That's right.
First and 10 for Bluefield on the 26 of Weir. Sarver under center. Dews in the backfield. Tynes goes motion topside. Dews 20 down to the 17-yard line. That's the big guy, Mr. Dews, that we've been talking about, the fullback. 5'10", 257.
And you hear in the background, those are not boos. Those are people yelling Dews. He's a load, and they hit him where you need to hit him. Got him down low and knocked him down. Earlier, they had tried to hit him high, and he was carrying people with him.
2nd down and 3 yards to go for a first on the 19-yard line of Weir. Tynes and Amaker, the wings. Like Weir move, but no flag. Amaker on the counter, trying to bounce outside. Touchdown, Bluefield.
Found the opening on the left side and goes into just the left corner of the end zone. The Red Riders couldn't track him down. And a touchdown for Amaker. So he's been the big play man for them so far today. Got a nice block out there.
By Tynes.
Right. And now he sees the corner of the end zone. He said, come and get me if you can. And he just gets into the corner of the end zone.
19-yard touchdown run by Donald Amaker. And Amaker, just a sophomore for Bluefield. You've got to give Tynes a lot of credit. He's really their feature running back, and that time he was the blocking back and threw the downfield block that really sprung Amaker. Terry on to attempt the extra point. Placement kick. It's a good one.
Good.
So Bluefield, they are now up by 2 touchdowns at 14-0 with 6:56 to go in the first half. The Beavers with a long 80-yard touchdown drive. We take a look at the Weirton Steel scoreboard. It's Bluefield 14, Weir nothing. We'll be back right after this. And we're back at Mitchell Stadium on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. Your score, Bluefield 14, Weir nothing. Bluefield with a short drive of 42 yards for a score. Now with a long drive, an 80-yard score. But the man with the touchdown was Donald Amaker with a 19-yard touchdown run. The drive, the feature play, Charlie Tynes with that big run up the middle.
Yeah, he and Amaker are what the billing said. They are 2 good, quick backs. Let's see if the Red Riders can get something started offensively. They've not been able to do anything so far. This defense was highly touted, and they've showed it.
Saidi Colliers takes the kick on his 8, going right up the middle, trying to bounce outside. Colliers loses the football.
And he did lose the football, I believe. Yes, he did.
And Bluefield pounces on it on the Weir 17.
Well, Saidi had the ball, I think, hit his leg when he was trying to switch hands. He's got the ball in his right arm. I think as he tries to switch hands, he's going to go down the left sideline. There, it just slipped out. he wanted to switch hands with it, and it just slipped out, and he couldn't get back to it.
And Mr. Special Teams, as I mentioned earlier with the recovery, Yatoka Keene, number 16. Keene's been the man on special teams. He's another sophomore. He had a big hit earlier, and now Yatoka Keene comes up with a fumble recovery for Bluefield. And Weir defensively has got to stop Bluefield here because you don't want to go down 3 touchdowns.
We talked about it earlier about the 2 games, the 2 playoff games that the Red Riders played earlier. A lot of mistakes, penalties, and turnovers, and they were able to overcome them against those teams. Whether they can overcome them against this team, I wondered. We're going to find out, obviously, as we go through the rest of this football game. That is a crucial error. Down 14-0, 6:48 left to go. He just wanted to switch hands with the football and try to run down that sideline. The ball slipped out, and Bluefield got it, and they're right back in territory. They go up 21-0 on the Red Riders. It could be it's going to be a long time in the locker room, and this could be a long day. This team, the man coach said that this was one of the best defenses he played all year. That's Bluefield.
But Weir had to come back last game of the season against John Marshall and ended up winning that game by 30-29 in overtime. Tynes in motion. Tynes got a lead block by Dew, spin, and he's got a nice pickup of about 4 or 5 yards.
Time of possession has to just be unbelievable. We don't keep that, but the time of possession just has to be unbelievable in Bluefield's favor. They've had the ball most of this second quarter, and they had it a good bit in the first quarter.
Many questions coming into the year about Bluefield after losing their superstar, Brental Isabel, who ended up going to Virginia, I believe, to play college football. But these guys that replaced him doing a great job. Dews up the middle, first down and more, down to the 12-yard line. And he'll run Tynes, he'll run Amaker, and then the big fullback.
It's a luxury to have 3 backs like that. Dews, of course, the big back, and you set up the outside play with him. He is a load. Watch him go. He does remind you of the bus, doesn't he? These fans yelling, Dews, Sean Dews.
So 1st and 10 for Bluefield on the 12-yard line of Weir. Rick DeCibio, the fullback now. Amaker, the tailback, is there in the eye. Amaker showing his speed to the 4-yard line of Weir.
He really accelerates. I mean, he really has some acceleration, and they were fortunate to catch him because he could have run past both of them. Coming right at you here. Look at nice acceleration, brought down and a good stop. But it's 2nd down and 2, and they're inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. They lead 14-0, and there's 5:10 left to go in the first half.
Dews and Tynes in the eye behind the quarterback, Brandon Sarver. Tynes up the middle. Touchdown, Bluefield.
Well, Weir High certainly has dug themselves a very, very deep hole now, down 20-0, and trying to come out and get the other extra point. Watch his power. We talked about Quincy and his power football, and this kid's got it too.
We get a good look at Mr. Charlie Tynes, and Terry on to attempt the extra point under Sarver's hold, and the kick almost blocked, but it's good. 21-0, and there'll be a flag.
Roughing the kicker.
Bubba Stump came in trying to block it.
I don't know how he missed the ball.
I don't know either.
I don't think he extended himself. I think he just ran right past the football. Now let's see what we'll do. I think they can take it on the kickoff also. Let's see. They're going to take it on the kickoff.
So they'll take the point 21-0. Take another look here at the touchdown, and Tynes, power.
Yeah, it's power because he's carrying people with him. That's power. That's strong legs.
And that's 21-0. Once again, one long drive, but Weir mistakes set up two short drives.
That's right, and and I hate to keep saying it over and over again that these are the mistakes that Weir High made in the first two games, but they were able to break long plays and come back and win those games. Same thing with John Marshall.
They weren't playing the competition that they are today, because Kaiser and Summers County, nice football teams, but not quite the caliber of this Bluefield squad.
Well, the Bluefield is going to kick off from the Red Rider 45 because of that roughing the
penalty.
Kicker. Right. They elected to take the penalty on the kickoff.
And we've got 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Quincy's hardly been able to get his hands on the football.
Right. The time of possession just totally in favor of Bluefield.
So Brian Terry will kick it, probably squib it, unless he can kick it into the end zone, which he does. So Weir will take over, 1st and 10 on their own 20. In high school football, you can't take it back out of the end zone. Once it goes in the end zone, you've got to bring it out to the 20.
As soon as the ball rolls across the goal line, it's dead. It's a dead ball, and Weir High will take it at the 20. And that's really a little bit of a break, because I don't know, taking the ball at the goal line, I don't know whether he could have got it out to the 20. Of course, he might have broken it all the way.
And tomorrow, it's the sister of this game, West Virginia Class AA playoff action, because the winner of this game will play the winner of that one, Magnolia and Grafton, tomorrow morning at 9 on the WTV 9 game of the week. Barkheimer looking to pass. He's got pressure, tries to dump it off, incomplete. I'm surprised that there's not a flag, because he tried to unload it, and the only guys standing around were linemen, but plenty of pressure by Eric Krause.
Well, he had Andre Barnaby out
the tight end.
Yeah, Barnaby was out there, and I think that's what the official was looking at. One of the Red Rider linemen almost touched the football, and that would have been an illegal pass. But he's looking, and he throws it past there, and Barnaby is right there.
Okay. So I set up. No, Britt makes it 2nd and 10. Berkheimer. He's got pressure once again. Tries to throw back across to McIntyre, and McIntyre is leveled by DeCibio.
DeCibio was just staying right with McIntyre. I mean, he was hiding. McIntyre jumped up in the air to get the football, and when he caught it, boom, that was it. DeCibio, again, what we've been told about him, he is a good linebacker. He had coverage on him. He never let loose of him.
Well, I'll tell you what, defensively, there's two guys so far on this Bluefield defense that have just really impressed me, and they are Eric Krause, who's 75, and Rick DeCibio, number 35. Those two have just been outstanding. 3rd and 14 for Weir. Twins to the bottom of the screen. The draw to Quincy Wilson. DeCibio, the tackle for Bluefield. He's joined also by Freddie Simon.
Quincy was still running. I mean, there were two guys around. One had one leg, one had the other leg, and Quincy was still running. He was still trying to move forward. Watch the end of this play. Quincy on the draw runs past the line. Now watch here. There's one. There's two. Now they both have him. Look at Quincy. He's still trying to get a yard or two.
So Collier's with a punt. Tynes fields it going backwards. He's trying to go outside. Amaker with the block. Tynes trying to get back across, and he is brought down by Ed Walker.
And the Red Riders have an injured player. He's going off the field very slow. I think that's John Saxton.
Because Saxton got blocked by Amaker
really did,
right there.
Yep. No, it was Mike Bennett that made the block. But that was a real good peel back block. got him some extra yards. Well, 3 minutes, certainly the Red Riders can't afford to give up any more. One turnover in the game. We're high coughing up the ball.
So 1st and 10 on their own 45. The big man DeCibio, the lone man in the backfield. Tynes, your wing motion. They're going to let DeCibio run the football. DeCibio powers his way down to the 47-yard line of Weir.
Well, Weir High now is forced into a game that they really didn't want to get into, and that's trying to stop this team from running the football, because that's what they really like to do. DeCibio, I mean, if they didn't have the wealth of backs they had, he would be a back.
So DeCibio really not one of your big three backs as far as Dews and Amaker and Tynes. They bring DeCibio in to give those guys a break, and he shows some power. 2nd and 2, gain of 8, all tough yards. Tynes trying to get outside.
Good stiff arm.
Across the 50, 45.
Fumble.
Fumble on the play right at the first down marker. I think Weir's got it.
Well, yes, they do. Well, there's the apple cherry cheese. Let's see if they can do something with it.
The apple cherry cheese turnover.
Mm-hmm.
And Tynes was just...
Good stiff arm there.
He's trying to get the first down. And
yeah, when he spins is when he loses it, right there. Oh, he got a helmet put on it.
Dante Rosici.
Yeah, he got a helmet put on the ball.
Rosici with the hit. That caused the fumble.
Weir High needs to get something here to go into the locker room with something positive.
2:25 to go in the first half. Bluefield leading 21-0. Colliers and McIntyre, twins to the bottom of the screen. Berkheimer looking. Down the middle to Colliers, who makes the catch and falls down at the 37-yard line. But a big first down for Weir.
Boy, that middle was wide open. They're playing zone. There's any question. They've been doing that since the beginning. And the cross the middle was open. I mean, there isn't anybody around him. And had he not fallen, I don't know why he jumped in the air. I don't think he had to do that, and that cost him.
With a big first down for Weir, the Riders need to put something on the board here at the end of the first half. I set up. Gilberto to the bottom of the screen. McIntyre to the top. Wilson spins down to the 31. Nice run by Quincy.
Well, the Red Riders got 1:50 on a running clock to try to do something here. They're Quincy bouncing off one, spinning away, and brought down 31-yard line. That's the best field position the Red Riders have had.
2nd and 3 on the 31. Wilson and Rosici split now in the backfield. Collier's top side. McIntyre bottom of the screen. Berkheimer looking for McIntyre at the 20. Spins by the first man, gets by the second one, and Amaker brings him down from behind, down at the 11-yard line.
Well, it'll stop the clock with 1:18 to go, and the Red Riders are going to have it down around the 12-yard line. First down. Now Weir High starting to get a little enthusiasm. They were pretty well down, and the Red Rider fans getting a little enthused. Berkheimer hasn't had a lot of time. He had some time there. Watch this little sidestep. A little give and go, shake and bake, and both of them missed him. And he finally gets brought down at the 12.
And Bluefield calls a timeout. We're 1st and 10 on their 12-yard line of Bluefield. We're knocking. Question is, will Bluefield let them in? Can Weir get in and get on the scoreboard? It's 21-0, 1:12 to go here in the first quarter. But we were reading some of the papers here in Beckley and Bluefield this morning as we take a look at the Weirton Steel scoreboard with a 21-0 Bluefield. And a lot of talk about Weir with a one-man offense, a one-dimensional offense. Stop Quincy Wilson, you stop Weir. But the Riders have a lot of weapons, and even though they're down 21-0, offensively, if the defense can get the job done, the Weir offense has the explosiveness to make up that ground.
Well, it's just been, as you said earlier, the short field. I mean, they've given Bluefield, I don't want to say they gave them 2 touchdowns, but certainly they gave them the position to put them in to get 2 touchdowns, and that's why it's down 21-0. Weir High needs to punch something in here and take something positive into the locker room.
2 drives less than 42 yards. So a lot easier to go 40 yards than it is to go 90 yards. The other drive, an 80-yard drive, but that was set up by the run of Tynes, which covered about 40 or 50 yards. So Weir will come out in an I set with Berkheimer, the quarterback, under center, Brandon Klink, Rasici, the fullback, Wilson, the tailback. Quincy following Rasici outside. He's got pressure from behind. Gets down to the 5-yard line.
Well, he was being pursued, but Quincy's got some speed himself, and he did get a block to get around the corner. He's got 3 blockers in front of him when this play starts. Rasici missed the block there, but it didn't make any difference because Quincy got out of that tackle and then gets knocked out of bounds.
And DeCipio's own man took him out because he was in pursuit of Quincy. High set up again. Wilson, touchdown Weir.
That helps. That certainly helps. With 1:02 left to go in the first half, Weir High does something positive offensively that they had been stymied. Now, Bluefield hasn't given up more than 21 points in a football game. If Weir High is going to win this game, they're going to have to break that record.
And taking another look at the touchdown run by Quincy. Breaks 1 tackle, spins through another, fights through 2 guys into the end zone for the touchdown. Greg Kobelnicki will be on to attempt the extra point. Take a look at the low-angle replay, and there is Quincy just fighting through the bodies for the touchdown. Kobelnicki on to attempt the extra point with the hold, Scott Cook. Kobelnicki, it is up, and it is good. 21-7, so we're within 14 now, 1:02 left to go here in the first half of this West Virginia Class AA state semifinal for Mitchell Stadium in Bluefield. Your score on the Weirton Steel scoreboard has Bluefield leading Weir 21-7.
Well, now you have to play some defense. You know, there's a minute 2. You don't expect this team to be able to pass and get the ball downfield. First of all, you got to cover the kickoff on special teams. Then you've got to make sure that you stop that running game. Watch out for that screen pass. A lot of things to do, but you want to take that momentum into the locker room. 21-7. You're down 14 points, but right now the momentum a little bit on the Red Rider side, even though they're down by 14 points.
And you get a look at Charlie Tynes. He is the guy that hurt Mann last week. Mann ran an interception back for a touchdown. Looked like they were going to get back into the game. They kick off, and Tynes runs it back about 40 or 50 yards deep into their territory to set up another scoring drive. But Charlie Tynes, very impressive for Bluefield today. So Kobelnicki has the ball teed up at the 40 and will kick off.
Got to stay in your lanes.
And maybe not kick it to Tynes. So they'll squib it to DeCipio. Patiently spins to the 40. That was a patient run back.
Yes,
he was
it was.
trying to feel his way.
Do you notice that? I noticed that on every kicking play, on the one that was kicked almost out of the end zone, the way these running backs on punt returns and on kickoffs, and that's maybe the secret to their special teams. Once they get the ball, before they do anything else, they
Stop and look
and see, now what am I going to do? Sometimes it's instinctive, and sometimes it's better to stop and look. That's what this team does.
DeJuan Perry split to the bottom of the screen. Sarver under center. Amaker in motion, handoff. Amaker, he gets around Jones, gets around Stump, tries to cut back at the 44, and is brought down by Colliers as Amaker slips, and he kind of lost his footing.
Well, it's that end around that was so successful earlier, and trying to catch Weir High pursuing, and a little misdirection with that end around, but the clock's running. We're down to 30 seconds in the first half.
Bluefield leading 21-7, and remember, Weir got the football to start this football game. 2nd and 4 now. Sarver under center. Motion man Tynes. Amaker once again, and Amaker's brought down.
Yeah.
Brandon Klink.
And he took the ball away. Brandon Click took the ball away.
Martin, wait a minute.
He just
they threw a flag for Klink throwing the football,
right.
but I don't. I think he was upset because I think he thought he had the fumble. We'll take a break. 21-7, Bluefield with the lead. 9 seconds to go in the first half. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. And Bluefield leading 21-7 on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. They've got the ball with 6 seconds to go in the first half. The ball on the 44-yard line. Handoff, Amaker. Amaker bounces outside. That'll do it for the first half. But before we went to the break, the penalty did get called against Brandon Klink. And that was a bit tough because he was just frustrated. I think he thought he stripped the ball away.
I think he thought he stole the ball before he knocked Amaker down. The referee ruled that he was down. Klink just threw the ball into the ground. He got called for an unsportsmanlike.
And Coach Wayne Neely talking to Klink right now, and your score at the half, that'll do it for the first half. You get a look at Wayne Neely. He's going to have a little chat with the official, and your score has Bluefield leading Weir by the score of 21-7. And we're back, set for the second half kickoff on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. It's Bluefield 21, Weir 7. We're ready to start the third quarter of play with Greg Kobelnicki set to kick off to Bluefield. And back deep for Bluefield is Charlie Tynes along with Donald Amaker and Junior Barnett. Kobelnicki boots it. Nice kickoff. Fielded by Amaker down at the 3. He slips, trying to bounce outside. 15, 20, where he is brought down. Saidi Colliers, I think, tripped him up.
Boy, that was a big kickoff.
Great kickoff by Greg Kobelnicki.
Kobelnicki got some leg into that one.
Down to the 3-yard line is where the kick went. That's a nice kickoff for Weir High School. Now, the big thing is Weir has got to stop Bluefield. Now, they were down 21-7. And if Weir can come up with a strong defensive stand here, it'll be very big for the momentum here to start the second half. Bluefield breaks the huddle. Sean Dews split in the backfield with Tynes. Tynes right side, and Tynes is brought down for Weir. Mike Vizdak.
There wasn't anything there. I mean, he accelerated into that line, and all there were white shirts. Watch the acceleration, and watch him go down. Boom.
No gain on the play brings up second down and 10. We get a good look at that front wall of Weir with Brandon Klink over there, along with Vizdak, Robert Busick, Scott Jones, Andre Barnaby. First man through, takes the handoff.
Amaker.
And it's Amaker out to the 25. Gain of 4.
Vizdak and Klink made the stop for the Red Riders. So now big third down play. Third down and about 5.5 yards to go.
Earlier, we've seen big plays from Bluefield with a screen and a draw on third down. 3rd and 5 now on their own 25. A screen to Amaker set up their first touchdown of the game. Now watch, Tynes will be split to the bottom of the screen. Amaker in the backfield, very deep in the eye. Dews, the fullback. Sarver, the toss. Amaker gets wrestled down.
Gained a yard.
1-yard gain. Andre Barnaby, the defensive end, number 25, with the stop. Barnaby strung it out and made the tackle. 3 and out, that's what you're looking for if you're the Weir Red Riders. And Barnaby, John, we talked about this before, came in battling a bit of the flu bug today, but nice stop there by Andre.
Didn't allow him to turn the corner. That was big. Now we need a little run back here.
4th down situation, the punt. Fair catch is called for by McIntyre. He catches it at the 46-yard line, so the Red Riders will set up shop with very good field position, only 54 yards away from pay dirt. And I know Coach Wayne Neely hoping to build on that momentum that Weir got at the end of the first half. They were down 21-0. A couple mistakes led to touchdowns, but the last touchdown put on the board came from the fellows from Weirton. So 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. The Q man in the backfield. The low man, Quincy Wilson, trips to the top of the screen. We'll see if they try to throw against that zone. Toss though to Wilson the other way. Quincy! Goodbye, Quincy, come on!
Out of bounds. Not allowed to cheer.
Quincy down to the 15-yard line.
I'm sorry I went over you. I just got excited. I won't do that again.
Big run by Quincy Wilson.
I thought he was going to go, but he didn't quite have the speed to get around that corner. You give the replay since I interrupted you.
It doesn't matter to me. Just get down to that end zone. There's Quincy Wilson. And Pines, he was the lone man to beat.
Yeah, and Quincy just couldn't quite outrun him, but he got out of bounds, and the Red Riders at the 15-yard line.
That's what you get for doing. You've done Weir games for 40-some years.
Yeah.
You're allowed to get excited.
Sorry. I really feel bad.
I set up this time Wilson. Quincy Wilson breaks a couple tackles, and he's still going down to the 6-yard line.
See, I was good there. He's at the 6, and it was just all Quincy that time. He really didn't have much running room. They're going to move him back and put him just inside the 7-yard line.
Well, let's put those 42 years to good use here. When was the last state title? Give us a little history lesson here for Weir.
It's awful hard to remember back that far, 1961.
That was 7 years before I was born, John. 7-yard line, 2nd down and 2. I set up. Quincy Wilson at the 5, and he's brought down maybe a short pickup or no gain over there on the stop, Freddie Simon.
There wasn't much there for Quincy that time. He wanted to come inside. You can see he's looking inside. There's nothing there. Now he tries to bounce outside, and there's no block for him. Just waiting there was Freddie Simon.
3rd down, and let's call it 2. High setup, Rasici and Wilson. Berkheimer just keeps it, and he should have enough. He does for the 1st down.
Berkheimer with the quarterback keeper, and the Red Riders have a 1st down inside the 5-yard line. Berkheimer straight ahead, just following the block, and runs into the linebacker. But he's got the 1st down inside the 4.
He just followed Brandon Klink and got the yardage he needed. 1st down and goal to go, down on the 4. Touchdown here would really help turn things around. Berkheimer. Wilson. Touchdown Weir.
Yes, it is. I waited for the official to put the arms up, and he did. And Weir High is right back in this football game. Watch the power. You saw it earlier from the Bluefield back. Now here's Quincy. He runs into that linebacker, and he just goes right into the end zone. Now Kobolnicki with the kick.
The train, you see the flag and the Q train. He's got him up at 21-13, back to within 8. And Kobolnicki will come on for the extra point. And Wilson, he had to run through Sean Dubes to get into the end zone. Kobolnicki, the kick, and it is good. 21-14. We're back to within 7. They were down 21-0, but the Riders riding high now. They are back to within a touchdown on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. The score, Bluefield 21, Weir 14. The Riders back to within a touchdown. We'll take a break and be right back. And we're back at Mitchell Stadium. The score, Bluefield 21, Weir 14. And John, Quincy Wilson a touchdown. It was set up by a big-time run by Quincy.
Yeah, he's, you just wondered how long that defense was going to hold him. I mean, he had some sparkling runs, but nothing really big. That one was a big run. Looked like he could go all the way, but, there's some speed in that backfield. And Charlie Tynes was able to run him down. And but Quincy set it up certainly.
And think about this. Now, Weir has happening to them what happened to Bluefield in the first half. That was a 55-yard drive.
Right.
It makes a heck of a difference if you're going 55 instead of 80 or 90 yards. And this guy, who can forget that? The kickoff to start the second half, Kobolnicki really pinned Bluefield deep.
That was the big play.
Let's have another big one. Kobolnicki, the kickoff.
Out of bounds.
This one goes out of bounds, though.
So they'll get it at great field position.
Out of the 35.
Right.
You've got to do that because you don't want to give Kobolnicki a chance to pin you deep again. And they won't. So they'll decline it, and the offense will come out. And they'll set up shop 1st and 10 on their own 35. but after being deflated early, you've got to think the Red Riders are really emotionally built up right now.
Well, they talk about Old Mo, and Old Mo's in the in white jersey right now for the Red Riders.
And Old Mo has been around. He's got to be pretty old because he's been around forever.
He's been around a long time.
1st and 10 on their own 35. Dews in the backfield. Amaker and Tynes in his wings. Tynes in motion, top side. Dews has a big hole. Dews into Weir territory, down to the 37-yard line. That surprised me. When Tynes went in motion, I was thinking he might get the football, but it was Dews with a quick hitter.
Saving tackle by McIntyre, caught him from behind and grabbed the ankles. Dews has a big hole up the middle. No one really touches him. I mean, you talk about him breaking tackles that time. There was a miss, but that time no one at the line of scrimmage, and he just grabbed two hams there and brought him down.
1st and 10 on the Weir 38. Dews once again the lone man in the backfield. Amaker in motion. He gets the inside handoff, trying to get outside. Gets a nice block across the 30 down to the 22-yard line. Fumble. Bubba Stump recovers it for Weir.
Yes, he does. Fumbles the football. The Red Riders get a break, and they get it back.
Bubba Stump. Stump had the big kick return earlier. Now Stump with the recovery for the Red Riders. You can call him Greg, but we're going to call him Bubba. Bubba Stump, and Bubba can dance.
Barnaby got up rather slowly after that tackle.
And there's Stump fighting off the block by Tynes.
Carrying it like a loaf of bread. That'll come to haunt you. He went to switch hands, and he dropped it just as he was going down.
And Filberto knocked it away. And give Bubba Stump credit. You saw in the replay how far up the field he was. He came back, hustled, and came down for the recovery. Bone set up for Weir. Berkheimer looking to pass. He's got pressure. He's going to let it go down the middle. Travis McIntyre incomplete out at the 45-yard line. Brandon Sarver on the coverage. I'm kind of surprised. 1st down, Weir coming out trying to throw the football, but I guess you want to stretch the defense.
George Cook put pressure on Berkheimer that time, and Berkheimer had to get rid of that football a lot earlier than what he wanted to, and it was just a question, I'm just going to throw it now and hope that McIntyre can run underneath it. He threw it long. No way that anybody was going to intercept it. The only guy that could have gotten to that ball was McIntyre, which was a good move on Berkheimer's part. He has not had a lot of time to throw the football when he's wanted to throw it.
So that brings up 2nd down and 10, ball on the 22-yard line. McIntyre split topside, I formation. Quincy is hit immediately, spins forward for maybe a short.
He fumbled the ball.
He did fumble.
Yes, he did. Quincy got hit in the backfield, and he dropped the football. Tried to dive on it himself, but did not. Coming up was Sean Dews for the recovery. Quincy got hit and spun.
I didn't even see the fumble.
Right,
Let's look.
Right there, and the ball is loose. It's out, and Dews is on it.
So Weir with the big break with Bubba Stump's recovery. Now Sean Dews with the recovery for Bluefield. And really, that was tough to see in that mass of bodies. But the initial hit, ball pounces out, and Dews pounces on it. So 1st and 10 on the 23 of Weir. Bluefield with their first big break in a while, but they had plenty in the first half. Amaker in motion. Sarver looking to pass. He's got Tynes. Touchdown.
Well, the Red Riders safety didn't get over in time. There was looking for McIntyre, had responsibility, looked for some help. He couldn't stay with the man, and it was a very nice fade pattern and an over-the-shoulder catch. Watch it now. They don't like to throw the ball much, but here's the pass. It's just a fade. And he's wide open. Nice over-the-shoulder catch. Very nice catch.
So after the turnover, Bluefield went right for it with the touchdown pass. Makes it 27-14. They had trouble finding their kicker.
Well, they're going to get called for too much time. Yes, they are right there. They didn't want to waste a timeout, obviously, so they're going to get penalized 5 yards. I guess they don't feel that that's any problem.
I don't know if he fell asleep or couldn't find the tee or what, but everybody was out there except for the kicker, and he came out and little late delay of game.
He brought the tea out with him, so I assume that was the problem.
Maybe he was drinking a cup of tea. Maybe that was the problem.
A little sweet tea.
Tell you what, though, with the way things are going, this could be a big extra point. But he's been booming them so far, Mr. Brian Terry. And it is
good.
28-14. They go back up by 14 points. 7:23 left to go here in the third quarter. Bluefield leads Weir 28-14 on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. You get a good look at Coach Wayne Neely. Bluefield leading 28-14, and things have been really on a roll, going good for Weir until the fumble, until the turnover, and that's the second turnover for Weir that has led to Bluefield points.
Two fumbles, 2 recoveries by Bluefield, and it's added up to 14 points, and that's the difference in this football game right now. 28-14. Well, we're high cut at the 7. They need to try to do that again.
So Brian Terry on to kick off. The ball placed at the 40. Colliers, Wilson standing back on their 3. And they're going to kick it to Quincy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, out to the 37-yard line. Nice return by Quincy Wilson. On the tackle, Craig Bauer for Bluefield.
Quincy's on the ground. I hope it's a cramp. Watch Quincy jump over the line here. Right up the middle of the field. Goes airborne. And then comes down. I don't see any twisting or anything. And they are working on his leg, so it appears to be a leg cramp. That hurts. It's not a hot day or anything. It just may have been the way that he came down on his leg that he got the cramp. Certainly, you know,
now they're wanting to stretch out the other one.
It's a gloomy day, but that's all.
Speaking of gloom and hopefully doom, how about this matchup? Baltimore and Jacksonville. I don't know which one I hate more. The Jaguars and the Ravens. Watch it right here on TOV. This is tomorrow. This is Sunday at 1 o'clock on the NFL here on NBC. And the Steelers are in Arizona to take on the Cardinals. That game Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And, of course, tomorrow morning it will be Magnolia and Grafton at 9 a.m. The Class AA playoff semifinal. Magnolia, the Blue Eagles, and the Grafton Bearcats Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on the WTOV9 Game of the Week. The winner of that game will play the winner of this matchup between Bluefield and Weir at Wheeling Island next Friday night at 7:30 for the West Virginia Class AA state title game. And the trainer's still out there working on Quincy's legs, John.
Yeah, fortunately that's all it is cramps, but he's gonna have to stretch the toes, get off the field and stretch the toes some. It hurts. He can hardly stand up with the cramps. He'll have to walk it off, and they'll come back. They feel like they're not going to.
A couple of his teammates come out to help him off the field, and he got a very nice round of applause from the Bluefield fans. Nice turnout on both sides. We're with a great number of fans coming down, making the trip, and they stayed with us at the Holiday Inn last night, and large turnout from the Bluefield side as well. So Colliers will now be in the backfield with Rasici.
Well, they need to get Quincy back in there as quickly as they can. They'll be working on him on the sidelines. See if they go to the air game here.
They go to Rasici, 40, 50, still going, spinning down to the 44-yard line. Dante Rasici on the quick hitter, and Rasici already with 4 touchdowns so far in the playoffs. Dante, a nice fullback. He's 5'8", 180-pound junior. Dante Rasici.
And what did you say about him earlier? Most underrated fullback.
Well, that was
here he comes.
That wasn't on the air. That was you and I talking.
Know that.
But that's a true statement.
Right.
He is. Dante Rasici, the times I've got to see him, has really impressed me. Berkheimer. He's got pressure. He is brought down by George Cook. Cook with a sack.
They have not given him much time to throw the football. He's been hurried. He's been rushed, and there's another sack. That's another $50 from Kroger's to the OVAC. But he's just right. By the time he looks downfield, he can see that he's in trouble, and that's a big loss.
And that's only really the second or third time we've called Cook's name today. Cook is an outstanding player on that defensive wall for Bluefield, but the Riders have done a very nice job of neutralizing him today. I set up with Rasici and Colliers. Berkheimer's going to roll. He's going to keep it. Berkheimer down to the 47-yard line.
Well, you got some of the yardage back that they lost on the sack. It's going to be third down and about 12. Berkheimer just rolling out to his left and keeping the football. Figuring with Quincy, here comes Quincy back in. Berkheimer with the fake. Now he's going to use the two backs as his blockers. And Berkheimer's got a little bit of speed, too.
3rd and 12 on the 47. McIntyre and Collier split to the bottom of the screen. I set up Rasici and Wilson. Fake to Wilson, down the middle for Colliers. Intercepted by Tynes, and he goes down at the 17. But that's really just as good as a punt would be in the next down if it was incomplete.
And Tynes gets up a little slow. He came down on the football on his chest. And that smarts, too. You see his left arm is hanging a little loose, and that's the reason. Overthrown a little bit. Looked like the ball might have been tipped, was it? Yes, it was, right there.
Yeah, Amaker doesn't tip it. I think Colliers has a good chance of catching it.
That's right. Amaker did tip it. Tynes, right there, you can see, he fell on the football, and he came off holding his left arm. Little stinger. He's on the bench.
So Dews is in the backfield. Junior Barnett a wing, Amaker the other wing. That's Barnett in motion. He's in for Tynes. Dews, and Dews gets wrapped up after a gain of maybe a yard.
There wasn't a lot there for him that time, and whatever he got was because of his bulk. Red Riders had about 5 people around him. He gains maybe a yard.
5 minutes to go on a running clock here in the third quarter. In Bluefield, West Virginia, the WTOV9 game of the week, West Virginia Class AA state semifinal between Weir and Bluefield. Bluefield leading 28-14. Sarver under center, Dews in the backfield. There's movement on the line. Everybody's clapping. Weir says it's Bluefield moving. Bluefield says it's Weir jumping off sides. And one of those guys is going to tell you the answer. The guy in the white hat says, procedure, Bluefield. Back up, Beavers.
Well, Weir High made them flinch that time. That's what really happened because, watch here. This end is the one that jumps. You see him flinch, and Weir High had jumped, one of the Red Riders had jumped up like straight in the air, hadn't come across the line of scrimmage, and it made the end for Bluefield flinch. So that takes them back 5 yards, back inside the 15-yard line.
So 2nd down and 14, ball spotted on the 13. And Tynes is still out of the ball game. Amaker takes the inside handoff. He's trying to follow Deuce's block. He gets outside and is brought down at the 17. I think people from the Bluefield sideline were hoping for a face mask.
And they just really, I think he grabbed him up around the shoulder pads. I'm not sure that it was a face mask violation. We should have a pretty good shot of this.
Brandon Klink and Andre Barnaby with a stop.
Coming right in your living room. Let's see, right here.
Actually, it's Travis McIntyre.
And he grabbed him up around the shoulder pads. It looked bad, but it was a grab around the shoulder pads.
3rd and long now, 3rd and 9.
Red Riders need some defense here.
Tynes is wrestled down by Brandon Klink and company. Back inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 8, and everybody was over there. Scotty Jones.
And look at the forward progress to the 13.
Scott Cook.
They try to reverse. The Red Riders were ready for it. And now Weir High should get the ball in great field position.
The 13-yard line.
Yeah.
Sarver standing on his own goal line. He set the punt. So the Riders will get the ball in good field position. McIntyre set deep to receive. He calls for the fair catch. Nice punt. 48-yard line is where Weir will take over in Bluefield territory. The Riders down 2 touchdowns, and we'll take a break. On the Weirton Steel scoreboard, it is Bluefield 28, Weir 14 on the WTOV 9 Game of the Week. And you get a look at some of the fans from Weir High School. Bluefield leading 28-14 on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. Short field for Weir, and every time someone has had that short field today, they've punched it in and scored a touchdown. Trips top side. Wilson a toss. Quincy, 50-yard line. Nice tackle by Donald Amaker for a loss of 2.
Well, you don't see that very often. You don't see Quincy brought down for a loss, but he just could not turn the corner. Amaker's good speed, and it's a great open field tackle on Quincy Wilson. One-on-one, you don't see a lot of people do that. Quincy is a lot better when he's running north and south than when he's going east and west.
But Weir had the trips to the top side and tried to run the toss back the other way, trying to spread out that defense. Berkheimer and a quarterback under center. Bluefield tried to come on the blitz with Dews wide open.
Oh,
Collier's incomplete.
Hit his shoulder pad. It hit his pad, and the ball bounced away. He was open. He was into the end zone. Maybe Amaker catches him. I'm not sure, but it was a big gainer. Watch, I think the ball just hits him in the shoulder pad.
Nice throw by Berkheimer.
Nope, hit him in the hands. Worst place. Tried to catch it against his body, and the ball bounced off.
But you saw the speed of Sadidi Colliers. Saidi getting open down the sideline. So 3rd and 12. McIntyre top side, Collier's bottom side. They're going to run a reverse to Saidi. If he can get outside around Cook. Pursued by Bluefield, and he gets a short gain, though, of a couple, but not enough.
Well, they were in on him, and that linebacker that you've been touting.
DeCibio, 35.
He did a great job of pursuit. Trying to get him in a little misdirection. Let him go after Quincy, and instead Saidi. He's being chased there by Cook. And then the linebacker's after him now, DeCibio, and he pushes him out of bounds.
So Collier's punting from his own 42. And it will go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Bluefield Beavers will set up shop. 1:47 to go in the third quarter. Bluefield leading this game 28-14. Don Sloan alongside John Cerrone bringing you all the action of this West Virginia Class AA state semifinal. The other matchup features Magnolia and Grafton. That game will be shown tomorrow morning right here on WTOV 9 at 9 a.m. The winners meet Friday night at 7:30 at Wheeling Island Stadium. Bluefield made it to the state semis last year before losing to East Bank, the eventual state champion.
Well, the Red Riders looking for defense. Once again, they've been able to stop this team, except when they gave them the ball way down in Red Rider territory.
Power eye setup. Tynes. He is met and wrestled down. Nice job by Weir defensively, but still, he comes up with a gain of, actually 3 or 4 yards.
Scott Jones made the initial contact for the Red Riders, I believe. Let's see. I can't see.
Ricci.
Okay, it was Ricci, yeah.
Called a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 ball on the 26. Bluefield on their own 26. They're going to run that power eye again. The toss to Tynes, trying to get out. Stump strings it out, but he cuts back inside. Travis McIntyre with the tackle, but it's a first down for Bluefield. Stump did a nice job stringing things out, but he didn't get any help from the backside, and he cut back in to get the first down, but there's a flag in the play.
Late flag, very late. It's going to be dead ball against somebody. Let me see. It's a first down. Dead ball. Against Weir High. Somebody said something. So they get the first down, and then they get 15 more, which statistically gives them another first down.
That's a double whammy. They get the first down, and then the unsportsmanlike. So they had now moved from their own 28 yards now, all the way out to their own 48.
So you've given them the short field again.
57 seconds to go, third quarter. Now they go back to the eye. Times, though, now the fullback, Amaker, the tailback. Got some nice running backs, and they can put them in all types of different sets and formations. Times out of the fullback spot. Nice pickup out to the 45 of Weirton.
That offensive line just came off the ball very well that time. Gave him a real nice hole. And look, they're in a 2-minute drill here.
2nd and 3, gain of 7 on that play. Amaker and Times once again your backs. Looks like Weir jumped off.
Yeah. That's another first down. That's another first down as the Red Riders jump offside. Now the ball's at the Weir High 40, just over the 40.
28-14, Bluefield leading, 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sarver up under center, Leggett. I set up, Times the up man, the deep man. Is Amaker, and they're going to let the clock tick down to end the third quarter of play here at Mitchell Stadium, with Bluefield leading Weir 28-14. And Bluefield holding up the four fingers like the Brook Bruins do. And we'll see if the fourth quarter is indeed theirs. With the 28-14, Bluefield has a lead. We'll take the break on the Weirton Steel scoreboard with the Bluefield Beavers leading Weir 28-14. We'll be back with a final quarter action right after this. And we're back on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. Bluefield 28, Weir 14, but Bluefield just got marched back. That was kind of bizarre.
Well, what they did was they came up to the line of scrimmage and got set. And then they decided that they wanted to let the clock run down, so the quarterback walked off. Well, the offensive lineman had come set. Now, when they stood up, that's illegal procedure. There's still 2 ticks left on the clock officially, and they're going to make them run another play here. And they flinched again, and it's going to be 5 more.
Oh, mercy. I'll tell you what, the Bluefield coach has got to be beside himself. Freddie Simon, all he wanted to do was run out the remaining 4 seconds in the third quarter, and now he's been backed up 10 yards.
Well, see, the offensive line had come set. Now the quarterback says, well, there's only 3 seconds left. Let's just let the clock run out. When he walked away, the lineman stood up. That's illegal procedure. Now they flinched.
This is still the third quarter now.
Yes, it is.
We're still trying to get the last play of the third quarter run. Sarver. Nobody's going to move this time. Fullback, Tynes. He picks up 5 of the yards. He got 1 of those penalties back, and that's going to do it. Finally, the third quarter that would never end. 28-14. It is Bluefield in the lead over the Weir Red Riders. We'll flip things around and go the other way, but really a bizarre ending to the third quarter of play. Now, with the score 28-14, we're going to bring up this fact. The most points that Bluefield has given up this season was 21 points to George Washington in Week 3. Bluefield won that game 28-21. So, for Weir to win this football game, or at least tie it and force overtime, they would have to do something that's never been done this season. No team has scored more than 21 points against the Bluefield Beavers this season. They beat George Washington 28-21. Richlands, Virginia, that game was 21-20, so a couple of close ones. But other than that, I see a shutout and about, in the regular season, 4 sevens.
Well, then you go on the other side of the corner. The least amount of points that Weir High has scored in a football game this year is 21. They did that 3 times, and they lost 2 of those 3 football games.
But 21's not going to cut it today.
No, it certainly isn't.
They've got to get at least 28, and I think they can do it. The thing is, you've got to keep, kind of got to hold Bluefield in check.
Well, it's 2nd down and 15 here, and they've got 2 downs. Got to watch that screen pass again, though. We've only seen it the one time, and it was a big play.
So the wings are Tynes and Amaker. Dew's the lone man, and Dew's has hurt the Riders, too. Amaker in motion. Oh, you look like Bluefield move. They're looking for Tynes on the fade again, and it is intercepted by Travis McIntyre. McIntyre picks off the pass down at the 8-yard line. Weir had it covered nicely.
They had double team.
Yeah, they had a double team with Filberto and McIntyre and Travis. He just outleaped Tynes for the football.
We got a flag down back up here at the line of scrimmage.
I thought Bluefield moved before they snapped the football. As we'll rewind here and see what happened.
Illegal motion. They're going to bring it back. They're going to say it was a dead play.
Oh, mercy.
They're going to bring it back, and they're going to say it was illegal motion. Oh, they're going to refuse it. Okay. They started to. I saw him motioning to bring the pass back. Yeah, because they couldn't bring it
back unless they blew the play dead.
Right, but I saw him motioning, bring the ball back, and I was afraid he was going to give the ball back after a 5-yard penalty. But Weir High takes over at their own 8. They need not a sustained drive here. They need to hit something quick.
Well, they've got the weapons to do it with the speed of McIntyre, Colliers, Wilson, and Rasici. It's going to be Quincy. He was stopped and then went outside, and Quincy, he's out. He should have a first down out of the 20-yard line.
It is a first down for the Red Riders, and lots of time left in this when the clock stopped with 11:43. Quincy doesn't have anything there. So now he goes to the other side of the field, picks up some blocks, outruns a couple guys, then puts his head down. See that last 3 yards? That first down was just Quincy with his head down.
So first down on the 20. This time it's Dante Rasici, and he is brought down by about 5 Bluefield Beavers.
They looked like they were waiting for that counter play that time as they tried the counter, and that's the one that worked well for a big gain earlier, but that time they were waiting for it. He's going to lose a yard.
And Eric Gates over there for Bluefield along with 75, Eric Krause.
Good defensive job also by Mike Bennett there, who just stood his ground and waited for Rasici.
2nd and 11 after loss of a yard. Berkheimer looking to put it up. And down the sidelines goes Travis McIntyre. Pass overthrown, incomplete. The only guy that was going to catch that was Tony Filberto.
Yeah, way overthrown. Berkheimer just throwing it downfield, hoping that McIntyre can run under it. Well, that's 3rd and long, 3rd and almost 11 yards to go. You need to pick up this first down because if you have to punt out of here, you're going to give them great field position again, and another touchdown would seal the fate.
McIntyre split topside, Collier's bottom side. I set up once again with Rasici and Wilson. Berkheimer looking for the screen to Collier's, trying to get it back inside. He's going nowhere because Mike Bennett was there along with the man we've talked about all day, Rick DeCibio.
Just good defense by Bluefield there. They were not fooled. They look and they see that it's a wide receiver screen. They see that the line is pulling over to that side. Now watch all the people that are around here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see with only 2 blockers out there, there was not much chance for that play to succeed.
I think there might have been more room outside if he could have made the fake to get around the first offender. There's the punt. Tynes. It's going to bounce right around midfield.
It's going to be down at about the 48, 49.
No. Yeah, at the 49, yeah. Because the official standing down at the 42, there's no way.
No.
Because Weir touched to the midfield.
Right, there's an official down there. He's got it marked with a beanbag, and that's where it's going to be. The reason the other official was there was once that ball was down by the Red Riders and they kicked it into that territory, someone from Bluefield could have picked the ball up and run with it. Well, it's a short field, 49-yard line, 10 minutes to go in the ball game. The Red Riders couldn't move the football. Now they've got to play defense again.
I set up the ball at midfield. Tynes, nice hole. He should be out close to a first down. He's past the 40 down to the 39 of Weir.
They'll mark him maybe just a little short. Tynes eludes an arm tackle. You can't bring him down with just an arm tackle, and he runs over people there. Quincy is the one who made the stop.
Second down and a yard for Bluefield. It's Dews. He's not going to get the first down. They're going to shove him backwards.
Yeah, he's going to lose about a half a yard. They thought the battering ram might pick it up for him. He's going to lose about a half a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Well, he got introduced to Robert Busick and Mike Vizdak.
They may just run him again, though. He is a battering ram. The clock's running. It's not a friend to the Red Riders right now. 8:45 on a running clock, down by 14 points.
Dews and Tynes. It's Tynes, first down and more. Tynes down to the 33-yard line of Weir.
We're trying to strip the football, but he had a good hold on it, and it's a first down inside the 35.
Your score 28-14 Bluefield, 8.5 minutes left to go. Bluefield jumped out to a quick 21-0 lead. Weir got it to within 7 at 21-14, but then a turnover led to a Bluefield touchdown, and they jumped back up in the third quarter to another 14-point lead at 28-14, and that's where we stand right now.
And Rasici's got a contact lens that's popped out, and he's going to go to the sidelines.
Let's take a break now. We'll be back. We've got 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter as Dante refocuses his contact lens. We'll refocus and regroup and be back with the rest of the game. 28-14 Bluefield. And we're back, and it is DeCibio. 30, down inside the 30, down to the 27.
Well, I'm going to tell you, for a big man, he's got some speed now. That was a rather surprising play. We saw him run earlier from a power formation. That time they ran him on the play that Amaker has had so much success on that running around the end. Almost looks like a Statue of Liberty play. Watch this now. Here he comes. He's big, and he's coming right at our cameraman. Get out of the way. Look out. He got away.
2nd and 4. Ball on the Weir 27. It's Amaker. He turns it up inside. Amaker down to the 17, but there's a flag.
And we're going to have a unsportsmanlike against the Red Riders. That'll be a half the distance penalty at the end of the run. Here's the run.
Yeah, I think after the quarterback handed off the football, I think he may have got rough because the Riders came in and hit him after the handoff.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with that. I'm serious. I don't know what's wrong with that. I mean, you're out there. Well, that's going to take it down inside the 10-yard line, and the Red Riders now have their backs against the wall with less than 8 minutes to go in the game, 28-14 the score, and if Bluefield punches one in here, the season could be over for the Red Riders.
It'll be first and goal to go with the ball on the 8-yard line of Weir as Bluefield calls the timeout. I'll come over and talk things over. 8 minutes to go in the ball game. And we'll take a break with Bluefield leading Weir 28-14 on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. And we're back at Mitchell Stadium. First and goal to go, ball on the 8-yard line. Bluefield leading 28-14. The Beavers hoping to punch it in once again, but Tony Filberto's defense needs to come up strong here.
And we want to remind you, this game is sponsored by the SSAC. Any use, reproduction, transmission, broadcast, or distribution of the accounts, descriptions, films, videotapes, audio tapes, and other recordings without the express written consent of the SSAC is strictly prohibited, and in furtherance, the copyright to said event hereby is reserved by the SSAC and WTOV TV9. How was that?
Good. Good job, John. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Magnolia and Grafton. You can see that game tomorrow morning right here in WTOV 9 Sports beginning at 9. Sarver, I tell you what, it's taking forever to get this next play underway between timeouts and...
The officials came over and were talking to the Bluefield coach about something, and we're not privy to that. Weir High team is saying, come on, let's go. Let's get this going.
Well, they'll go now. Sarver under center. Amaker down to the 4. Rasici. Actually, not Rasici. It was Cook with the tackle, I believe.
Well, it's second and goal at the 4. The Red Riders, as I said, backs against the wall. It was a pickup of 4 on that play.
Nine stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Scott Jones over there.
He's going to lose a yard. They'll spot it back at the 5-yard line. And it's third down. There wasn't anything at all in the middle this time. The offensive line got pushed back. You can see the red shirts going backwards that time as the Red Rider defensive line came off the ball.
So now third down and goal to go. DeJuan Perry checks in for the Beavers. Split backs, do's, and times, and we've got another whistle. The delay of game, I believe, against Bluefield.
Yes, it is. They took too much time. So now they bring it back out to the 10-yard line. This series started at the 8. Third and goal at the 10. I'll tell you one thing. I bet they keep the ball in the middle of the field for their kicker.
He's done a nice job with the extra points today. 4 for 4 with the extra points for Bluefield. But they'd like to punch it in here. Third and goal, the ball on the 10. Dozier fullback times the tailback. Amaker split to the bottom. Sarver looking back. He finds Tynes, and Tynes is brought down by Saidi Colliers after a loss of a couple.
Well, now, do you kick it or not?
They're going to call timeout. Coach Simon calling the timeout. We take another look, just trying to swing it back around to Tynes.
And let him do his own job, but Red Riders right there to make the stop. So they want to talk this over, whether or not to kick the field goal or leave Weir High deep if they don't punch it in.
I think they'll give it another shot and try to score.
I don't know. I mean, a field goal puts you up 31.
It would be. It would. I mean, the field goal would be great, but I don't think he's talking to the quarterback if they're getting ready for a field goal.
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, I'm just thinking, from a coaching standpoint, it's 31. I mean, if Weir High would punch 2 touchdowns in and go for 2, that's only 30 points. And there's 6:11 left to go in the game.
Tony Filberto talking to his defense. There you get a good look at Quincy Wilson. You want to see a nice kicker, check out that game tomorrow morning. Magnolia and Grafton. Chase Ripley has done an excellent job kicking field goals and extra points and so forth for the Magnolia Blue Eagles of Coach Dave Caesar so far this season.
I don't know whether...
They called it second time out.
Yes, they did. They still don't know what to do. Back to back.
Another timeout by the Beavers.
Back-to-back timeouts.
And you're not going to call back-to-back timeouts if you plan on kicking a field goal. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Simon calls for Bluefield.
Well, the offense is coming out there, and I don't see the kicker.
Fourth and goal to go. The ball is on the 11-yard line. Freddie Simon splits to the bottom. Top side is Junior Barnett. Dews and Amaker will be lined up behind Sarver. Big play here with 6:11 to go. Sarver, he's looking to put it up. He's got pressure. Looking for Barnett in the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Bluefield fans wanting pass interference, but the pass is incomplete. Travis McIntyre on the coverage.
Intended for Junior Barnett down on the left corner, and that time he just didn't have a lot of time. He had to throw the football, and I don't think Barnett was interfered with. I think he really slipped down himself.
Good backside pressure by Brandon Klink and Andre Barnaby from the front side.
That's not interference. He had no chance at that football.
Weir 90 yards away from pay dirt. Make it 89. They've got the ball at the 11. Trips to the top side. Wilson, the lone man in the backfield. Berkheimer looking for Quincy Wilson. Incomplete at the 16.
Pass a little bit too high for Quincy. Couldn't quite get it. Trips that time out to the right and throw to Quincy. Use a lot of deception. 6 minutes and 1 tick left in this game. A 14-point lead.
Now it's Saidi Collier split to the bottom of the screen. Top side is McIntyre. High setup with Rasici and Wilson. Berkheimer. He's got pressure up the middle. Berkheimer's going to run with it. Berkheimer at the 15, and he's brought down by Rick DeCibio.
So it's a third down play for the Red Riders. Third and short. About 3. He couldn't find anyone open. Fades back, looking downfield. He had a man on the right side. His swing man was open, but he didn't see him. Decides to pull it down. Going to pick up 7 yards with this run as he gets hit by that linebacker.
3rd and 3. Quincy Wilson cuts back inside, and he's brought down by DeCibio.
Short.
He got right across, right to the 20-yard line, but did not get it up.
It's going to be about a yard and a little more. A yard and 3 blades of grass for a first down. And I don't think Weir High can punt this away.
And once again, Rick DeCibio, you'll see him number 35, outstanding job all day, once again with the tackle on Quincy Wilson. So that makes it 4th down and a yard to go. Ball just shy of the 20. They've got to get it to the 21. High setup. And the timeout for Weir. Coach Neely's going to talk to Eric Burkheimer. Big play here for Weir. And we'll take a break here with 4:44 to go in the ball game. Weir facing a crucial 4th and 1. Bluefield leading Weir 28-14 on the Weirton Steel scoreboard. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. Bluefield 28, Weir 14. Your score, you're watching the WTOV 9 Game of the Week. And on the Weirton Steel scoreboard, it is Bluefield with the lead. Don Sloan and John Sereni bringing you this West Virginia Class AA State semifinal game from Mitchell Stadium in Bluefield. Tomorrow morning, it will be Grafton and Magnolia, 9 a.m., to see who goes to Wheeling Island next Friday night at 7:30. The winner of the Weir Bluefield game and the winner of the Grafton Magnolia game will tangle for the West Virginia Class AA State title. 4th and 1 for Weir. Rasici and Wilson in the backfield. I formation. Quincy. 1st down and more. He gets popped out at the 27-yard line, but he gets the 1st down.
Quincy's getting up slow. I think those cramps are bothering him. You see him walking back to the huddle, and he's walking pretty gingerly. Quincy makes the cut, gets a good block there, seal block. Now he's got to get it past that yard line, and he does.
4:25 to go on a running clock. They've got the 1st down now out at the 26-yard line. Twins top side. Burkheimer looking to put it up. He's got pressure. Lets it go for Travis McIntyre. Great catch at the 38-yard line of Bluefield. Travis McIntyre went up and got it.
Against Amaker, it was a jump ball, and McIntyre had the height. Amaker couldn't get up that high. Watch McIntyre at the end of this. It's just a jump ball. He fires it downfield. We've got jump ball right here, and up in the air and coming down with it.
So 1st down Weir at the Bluefield 38. 4 minutes to go in this one. I formation. Collier's bottom of the screen. McIntyre topside. Quick screen to Travis. And McIntyre gets a short gain of about 3 or 4.
Well, that play, which has worked so well for Weir High all year, is well scouted and well covered. They've got 3 people over there on that out.
Gain of 3, we'll call it 2nd and 7 on the 35. Backs now split. Burkheimer, he's going to run with it. Quarterback draw. Burkheimer, 1st down and more. Burkheimer down to the Bluefield 20.
Big run by Burkheimer on the draw. He said, okay, you want to come after me, and then I'm going to run past this rush. Here they come. The blocking is to the outside, and now he eludes 2 tackles to get upfield. There's some good balance for you. Does a spin, he's brought down.
1st down at the 20. Burkheimer under center. Quarterback draw again. Sean Dews is there, though, to rip him down for no gain at the 20.
Dews stayed home that time. He didn't get hit, and Red Rider's going to call a timeout. That may be their last one.
2:59 to go in this game, so the clock now an enemy of Weir High. Coach Wayne Neely talking to his offensive unit.
It's going to be 2nd down and about 11 to go.
And on the Weirton Steel scoreboard, it's Bluefield leading Weir 28-14, 2:59 to go. We'll take a break and be right back. And we're back at Mitchell Stadium. Bluefield up 28-14. Weir 2nd down and 11 to go on the 21-yard line of Bluefield. The Riders just called a timeout to talk things over. Their offensive unit is back out there and ready to go. Eric Burkheimer with a quarterback draw to give Weir a 1st down, but they tried the same play again. That time it was thrown for a loss of 1. McIntyre top side, Collier's bottom side, split out the rush by Dews. He's got pressure from behind, and the sack for Bluefield of Berkheimer.
They were shooting everybody. Everybody was coming. They had 4 men back and 7 people coming. They shot the linebackers, and the Red Riders just didn't pick it up. Berkheimer had no chance.
And George Cook with his second sack of the game. There's Dews with the pressure, and I think it's Cook. It is Cook from behind with the sack.
They came with 7 people. Weir High had 5 people out, and there was another. There they come again.
Berkheimer, he's got all kinds of pressure, and Berkheimer is brought down by Bluefield out at midfield, and the Bluefield defense right up the gut for the sack. Troy Powers for the Beavers, and George Cook once again out there.
Well, it's 4th and about 42.
Timeout Weir. We'll take another look here, and they just sent everybody. Dews, Powers, and Eric Gates.
Everybody was coming. He never had a chance. 2 plays in a row. They just shot people, and the Red Riders didn't pick it up. Berkheimer no chance to even look downfield, and it's going to be 4th, and now they say on the scoreboard 4th and 41. The Red Riders have to get the ball down to the 10-yard line. They're at their own 49, and with 2 minutes to go, it's like it's the 2-minute warning here, Don. Here's the season for Weir High on this play.
Riders need to come up with the first down. 2 minutes to go, 28-14 Bluefield. Bluefield made it to the state semifinals last season before losing to eventual champion East Bank, and this time they want to get the job done and make it back to Wheeling Island Stadium. Class AA state title game Friday night at 7:30 on the island. So Berkheimer has trips to the top side.
They've got 3 men 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. They don't want to give anything deep.
Dews with the inside rush. They dump off the screen to Quincy Wilson, incomplete. And Dews knocks it down. And that's going to do it for that possession for Weir. And Bluefield will want to take over and run out the clock with 1:56 left to go in this one.
Quincy had about 5 people out in front of him if he could have got this football, but Dews was just right with him. Dews was staying with Quincy no matter where he went.
And Berkheimer had Eric Krause right in his face, and it was tough for him to get rid of the football. But I think defensively, you've really got to look at Eric Krause and Rick DeCibio with outstanding ball games here for Bluefield. Sarver, the give to Dews. Gain of 3 down to the 46.
I don't believe Weir High has any more timeouts. They can't stop the clock, and it's running now down to about 1:40 by the time I say it, left in the football game. Bluefield wanting just to keep the ball on the ground, take as much time as you can. They've got a 14-point lead. The Red Riders can't stop it, and this game is just about history.
So Weir with the 5-hour bus ride this week. Bluefield, they'll have to get on the bus next weekend to head up north for the state title game. And it would be Tynes trying to get outside, and he's brought down by Quincy Wilson.
Quincy makes the stop. Quincy walking back a little dejected. It kept getting gloomier and gloomier in this stadium as the hours of daylight are winding down, and it's looking gloomier and gloomier for the people clad in red across the field.
Clock down now inside of 40 seconds. Amaker, 50, down to the 45. Barnaby and Filberto on the tackle.
And that may do it. I don't know that they have to run another play.
They don't. In Bluefield, the Bluefield Beavers will be heading to the Wheeling Island Stadium. The Beavers will have to swim up the river and head to the island to take on either Grafton or Magnolia for the West Virginia Class AA state title game next week. And, well, let's think about it. Players of the game, John, I'm going to throw out a few nominations. First off, for Bluefield, I think you've got to look defensively, Eric Krause and Rick DeCibio, but on offense, Charlie Tynes and Mr. Amaker, but I might want to go with Charlie Tynes.
Yeah, I think Tynes deserves it. He played an outstanding game.
So Charlie Tynes, the player of the game for the Bluefield Beavers, and a number of players also in Weir that we could take a look at. We've got a couple written down here. What do you think, John?
Well, I think Vizdak played an outstanding game defensively, no question. The Red Riders, offensively, I mean, you always talk about Quincy, but overall, I mean, Weir High's offense just didn't click the way it should have. Maybe we got to give it to a defensive guy.
And Bubba Stump with
yes, he was good.
A key kick return, a couple of other key plays, key fumble recovery, and
how about Kobolnicki's long kick? I mean, that wasn't bad. He did a great job all year. You pick it. Okay, let's give it to Vizdak. I thought he played a good game defensively, and let's give it to Vizdak.
So Mike Vizdak, he is the player of the game for the Weir Red Riders defensively. Michael with an excellent job here for Weir, and a fine season for the Weir Riders draws to a close as Bluefield beats Weir by the final of 28-14 here at Mitchell Stadium in the Bluefields of West Virginia and Virginia. But those are your players of the game. Rick DeCibio, well, actually not Rick DeCibio, but Charlie Tynes of Bluefield, and Mike Vizdak of Weir High. Those are your players of the game, and that's going to draw things to a close here at Mitchell Stadium as Bluefield wins at 28-14. Check for a sack.
There were a few of those.
There were 4 sacks today, so in the Kroger Food and Drug WTOV9 check for a sack program, 4 sacks today. For each sack recorded by either team, Kroger will donate $50 to the OVAC, so $200 donated to the OVAC from Kroger Food and Drug. And we'd like to thank those folks at Kroger for supporting us all season long here in the WTOV9 Game of the Week. Great season for the Weir Red Riders of Weir High and head coach Wayne Neely. And I know the Riders, with a number of returnees for next season, will come back strong once again. But a great season for Weir, advancing all the way to the state semifinals. But they come up just short. Bluefield, they win at 28-14. So on the Weirton Steel scoreboard will be the Beavers of Bluefield High School heading to Wheeling Island. Your final score, Bluefield 28, Weir 14. For John Sereni, I'm Don Sloan saying good night, everybody.
It's my fairy tale dreams and nightmares. Sipping on this potion, hoping make me see clear. Baby, feel back and sleep well. Champagne's now my every count. It's my fairy tale dream.